Hey there, future me. It's currently a Saturday morning. It's somewhat normal schedule. It's been about a little under a month since last audio, so I guess it's improvement. It's like one of those ones again, right? I'd been meaning to. I was really hoping to record this like maybe like a week or 2 weeks ago, but I kind of just like I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm really tired. I want to go to sleep, right? And kind of just cycled through it, and well, now it's October, right? So, but hey, we're still here. Can't let the great be the enemy of the good, right? So, what's happened, I guess, this past month? I mean, I don't know. After the trip, I just kind of like hung around and started to really work on the poster. Had to give like a presentation for I guess, the department, right? I guess that's like the semesterly requirement of you have to go talk to the department of either about like some paper that you thought was interesting or your research. And I actually had done enough research to talk about it. It was kind of a it was a little bit tough. I think there was a point in time where I just kind of like paused and said, "Sorry, I need to gather myself. I've lost my words for a good 20 seconds," and then they kept talking. But apparently the kiddos thought that like I did a really good job in terms of like the slides, making the information rather digestible for them and not flooding them with jargon or equations. So that's good. Uh, we're working on the poster. That's nothing too crazy, right? It's just weird to think about that. In a few weeks or so, like I'll be at a conference trying to explain to people like who are in the subfield why my stuff is important, which is something that I really got to touch up on, right? The greater picture. It feels like I've kind of been, my head's just been like there's like probably some like quote about like the trees or something that like I've like forgotten. Like uh I'm in the bushes. I should be like probably up in the trees or something, right? Like knowing like the greater picture, like why is this important instead of like, ooh, look here, it's math. Don't you like math? Right? Here's some theorem that you've never heard of. That's like cool to solving this very particular problem. What are the physical implications of this? That's a great question. I'm not thinking about that right now. I'm just writing code, right? Like I don't think I don't think that'll fly too much. So I gotta work on that. I've been making nicer plots, labeling my axes, all that stuff, increasing the DPI, all that shebang. But that's that's a journey. I figure I'll have a bit more to talk about once the conference is over and I've like shook hands with people who've hopefully found me to be informative. Um, yeah, I don't know. So that's been happening. I've been working with the undergrads, like the undergrad, I guess physics org, quite like extensively. Been trying to get a lot of things rolling, like the buddy program, some like grad students coming over and giving talks during like the undergrad meetings and all that. That's kind of it's been a rather slow process because I guess both grad and undergrad bodies are kind of like they're busy doing their own thing, and so I feel like I've had to do a lot of go out of my way to find people, which I don't mind it. It's just kind of like a question of like, is it actually sustainable? Am I going to make something that will only last for a year simply because like I overexerted myself and then like next year like it'll simply just like dissipate because whoever's president then won't really, or I guess like we won't have someone like in that position to be as active as me. I don't know. It's a bit of a concern, but once again, right? Don't let the great be the enemy of the good. Be glad that at least it existed. So I'm still trying to make it happen, but we're currently still in the you know hopeful stage. I have yet to really see the fruits of my labor, so I'm kind of what the cheeks are clenched. No, it's tune in next time, I guess. Finally fixed the bike. Like I went with Calm to like one of those like bike places or bought some new inner tubes. Finally got like an inner tube patch kit. It's not one of the like the super high tech ones. It's just kind of like the it'll get the job done if you pop it like when you're going on like a long bike ride. So that's just good for a rainy day. Um, so I've been biking to work like quite often now, so that's pretty cool. I haven't like missed a single frisbee practice like beyond that one time like we went on that like road trip like so feeling pretty good about that. Been running around a lot, playing with the fellas, making been showing up to those weekend scrims too, which is good to get my reps in. I'm still kind of getting like I still don't know how to play defense, and I'm still kind of getting like burnt sometimes whenever like I don't have good footwork, but it's all in all, good experience. I think that covers all the bases. Like it's just been a very well, I guess like you know this week, like this past week was a little bit crazy. Tons and tons of like different events and lots of free food. I think like what was it? Yeah, Wednesday I biked back with like a whole box of pizza, like with a pizza box. That was kind of like a mess. I had to, use my left hand to hold it down between the handlebars and the right hand to just like steer and brake. That was kind of scary. I was really concerned that I would like go over a speed bump a little too fast and the box would just get sent flying. And I'm like, no, there's a whole pizza in there. Um, what? Like, what else? Oh yeah, like, dude, Prof is like heading out in like sometime next week, and so he wants me to, have the poster done before he heads out. And bro, like I told him on Thursday, like, okay, like, can you? I'll have like I'll draft it in by the evening, right? And I wake up like Friday, like at noon, and I'm like, surely there's edits, right? Open up the slide, no edits. It's like, huh? I sent him an email, like, today, or I guess yesterday evening. I'm like, so, maybe you were just waiting for me to send an email, but it's in. He's like, yeah, I was waiting for you to send an email. And it's like, oh, bro, no. Throwing in real time. Look at this guy. He's Green. What are you doing? What are you doing? Send the emails, man. Oh, but yeah, I don't know. That's just all kind of neither here nor there. Anyhow, what's on your mind? Do you have a topic that you wanted to ramble about? For sure. What's the maybe not like an anecdote, but just as when I said I've been meaning to record an audio for the past like 2 weeks or so, like, and I just kind of forgot about it. That's kind of like the prevailing sentiment, right? Like I'm once again feeling the passage of time a bit more than usual, I guess. It's strange thinking that like we're now in year 4, right? Like I don't know, just like trying to put it into context, right? Like I haven't been at an institution for a year, or like I've never been at an institution for more than 4 years. Okay, Wesley, you know, oh yeah, but technically you're in elementary school for 5. It's like yeah, well, okay, come on, yeah, but like I moved elementary schools midway through, so but yeah, so I guess this is like the first like grad school is like the first time I've been at a place for, or that I will be at a place for like over 4 years. Like I guess if this were me in undergrad, I would be like a senior right now, right? And I'd be looking forward to graduating and applying to grad school and doing all that stuff. But instead, like I still have like 2 years left, um, which isn't like a bad thing at all because I feel like there's so much more that I need to do. I feel like I just spent like the first 3 years like gradually getting into it and just trying to feel out like what it means to like be a functioning adult and like participating in society and all that. And now like it's just like rushing to get things in, right? Like Retro was telling me today, like, Green, stay in academia and never apply to jobs. This shit sucks, right? Because he's like, he's on getting ready to be on his way out, and he's got papers to write, a thesis to, finish, and also all these job applications to look at. And that's a scary thought. I mean, I'm now the age that Retro was whenever I first met him. Whenever I moved into like the office with him in like my second year, and I don't feel like I'm anywhere close to him. The sophomores that I met while TAing, I guess, like when I started this channel, right? They're seniors now. They're applying to grad school. My, I guess when I was a senior in undergrad, like my freshman mentor is now fully graduated, right? I hit him up the other day, and yeah, I guess like the past 3 years have been rather, they feel like an eternity for him. For me, it's just kind of I closed my eyes, I opened them, and we're here now, right? It's been what, I guess like a year ago. I was kind of was the what, pencils and Pandora's box video, right? Audio, I guess, talking about like it's been 8 years removed since like the family split. Now it's 9 years is coming up, so that's yeah, certainly something to think about. Hope things don't go down in the group chat compared to 2 years ago. But we'll have to see what happens then. Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's just once again feeling the passage of time, and it feels like it's all just kind of like disappearing. There's only so much time in the world. I guess this is another adjacent thing, right? To do the things that I want to do. I was talking with Chair the other day, maybe like well, not the other day, maybe like a month or two ago, and like the one of the fish gang calls. He was talking about like if you have kids, how do you want to raise them? He was kind of big on like make sure they stay outside and like kind of keep them away from video games. And I was kind of like pressing him a little bit because I feel like I spent a lot of time like playing video games, and I think I got like a good amount out of them as a child, right? But now like as an adult, there's not really of course, like I grad school being grad school, right? I can pretty much work on my own time, and I still do spend time playing video games. Like, oh, this background footage. He totally just ripped this off of some other guy who's playing the video game. But yeah, it's I don't know, right? Like, there's only so much time in the world to do the things that I want to do. If I want to do a lot of cool research things, if I want to be more involved with like the community, the greater physics community, like the undergrads, be involved with the department, be involved with like the greater university, if I want to be more involved in just community efforts as a whole, if I want to be better at piano, I want to cook more consistently, exercise more consistently, so on and so on and so on. I I don't think I can do all the things that I would like to do, right? So some of these things just kind of fall off to the wayside, such as I really want to sleep. I'll record the audio tomorrow. Boom, there you go. Said that like I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and now we're here. I feel like this is like the third time I said this is recording, but let's not worry about it. Who else is listening? Hmm? That's what I thought. No one. um, yeah, it's scary to think about. Really, it's just time. It all just kind of goes by, and is this really is this really it? I mean, I do enjoy like what I do. I like hanging out with my friends. I like doing research. I like, mixing things up and like finding results and then seeing like making predictions and then seeing those predictions appear in the code. Like that's all rather reassuring to me. Um, it's nice to progress in like certain video games and get further done on those fronts too. Um, but there's kind of that like, what is it all for, right? Like, I guess if I have two tasks and only like so much time, this is let's make a toy model, right? As all good physicists do, right? And say that I can spend one life living a very productive life, contributing like many things to society, and the other life is spent indulging myself, right? But then I only have one life to live. Which one do I pick, assuming that I am equally happy in either of these pictures? I suppose, right, like, taking the neutral stance of like there is no intrinsic meaning to life and we are to create our own meaning, they would be valued equally. But I feel compelled to choose the former option, right? To do something that other people can appreciate somehow, right? And it's strange. It really is because I feel like as of now there are I do a lot of things that I don't really think anyone else will ever really be able to fully appreciate. I can tell people like about my well, about my efforts, right? Not necessarily my triumphs or my failures, but just like the process, right, of like getting to a result. Perhaps the result is admirable or the result is useful, right? And other people can utilize that somehow. But they're not going to really see, I guess, like all the effort behind the scenes, like the off-camera mining, if you will, right, that I put in to like getting here, all the time spent like thinking about, is this right, is this wrong, like am I good to make this assumption, am I poor to make this assumption, so on, so on. And I think even if you tell people about it, like I think it's difficult to really like be in my shoes, I guess, and that's like I think I spend a lot of time doing that. And so even if like I do make a lot of contributions to society, right? That's only through my results and not through my, I guess, journeys, right, or my walks to get there. And so that's something that I must be satisfied with in some way. Because like what different is it? Like how different is it to like, instead of maybe doing research just to try to get all the achievements, right, on a video game, right? I can certainly appreciate the walk because that's just a lot of grinding and getting better, memorizing attack patterns or like optimizing builds and so on and so on, right? And then once the result happens, I can, go post to my friends like, yo, look, got all the achievements on this game. And they'll either be like, damn, no life or respect. But this like that doesn't really I don't know. I feel obligated to do more, I suppose, to contribute to society, I suppose. And as enjoyable as stuff like that is, I maybe there's not that much time for that, right? And that's kind of a bummer. Um, I don't know. Like I'm not trying to be like what's the term here? Not pedantic. It's patronizing, right? Like I don't know. Just it's like one of those. It's just a feeling, right? I know like my dad, I guess, like would probably kind of like, man, what are you doing, right? And it's not just my dad. Like more importantly, it's me because I feel like I don't know. I guess I believe in my potential to do all these things, but man, like there's all these other things that I want to do, right? Like I don't. Of course, it's not good to hole up and just like become like a recluse, just calculate, churn out paper, right, and just like do a lot of work while whenever you actually go talk to me, I'm just like a skeleton. But I I don't think I'm anywhere close to that. I probably should be applying myself more, and I think I have been applying myself more. All this like poster stuff has gotten me like kind of touching up on papers and like doing all this stuff, and like all of my like work and I guess like work cooperating with the undergrads and talking to the department people has also been taking up a lot of time, and I've been like zooming around, like showing up to practice and being like an extra person that the team can play with, right? But at the same time, there's all this other stuff that I want to do as well. I wish I could like be playing more Counter Strike with the fellas. I wish I could be practicing keyboard. I want to like maybe compose a little bit more, like or do a bit more art, maybe record a bit more for the channel. But there's simply only so much time in the world, right? And I can't like do all these things. I don't know. It's just it would be a lot easier, I guess, if there was some like immediate like well, there are immediate feedback mechanisms that kind of like reward you instantly, right? But those are usually in the form of like video games or like watching like content and stuff like that. And that I don't know, like yeah, it is pretty satisfying to do that, but I I think I've identified that in the long run, I'm not sure as to how optimal that path would be, right? It's okay to have some of it, but I don't think I should have too much of that in the long run. I don't know, like it's just like the search for fulfillment and all that stuff, and trying to just find do the right thing or do the thing that's the most practical, right? Um, not practical. It's just hard to find words right now, right? It's not even that late at night. I think I had a train of thought. And now I'm just kind of like fumbling around, but um, I'm sure this is reflective of the general mood, right? And as I spend my time thinking, right, time continues to pass. It doesn't really wait for anyone, right? People will continue to age. I will continue to age, right? The kiddos will graduate, and then like the people who were basically just like freshmen yesterday or seniors now, and then they'll be joining me in grad school, right? Just a second later, and time will just continue to pass, and all the days are just kind of similar. You wake up, you you wake up a little bit later than you should. You have like a quick breakfast. You skedaddle over to work. You are half productive, half unproductive at work. Eventually, get tired and decide to give up and go home for the day. And the cycle just kind of repeats itself. It's not like it's an enjoyable process, but there's just this like underlying worry, I guess, like that I might not like. I'm not sure how to describe it, right? I guess like maybe I wish that others were there to behold my efforts more often, right? But I don't really think that's something that I can well, what am I supposed to do, right? Like, show up and be like, prof, look, I did a thing, right? He's just gonna be like, good job, son. So, I don't think, what is he, my dad? But no, it's just a little different, I guess. I just wish that, other people were there to bear witness, I suppose, to, like, all the efforts that's being put in, because it feels like right now I'm just kind of like off in my own little world doing what I think to be meaningful, but I have yet to see like the real recognition of my efforts. And it is kind of, external validation probably, good, right? Like, of course we shouldn't entirely count on it. It's good to be able to do things because like you think it's the right thing to do. Uh, but at the same time, like it's good to know like that other people appreciate all the things that you do, and we're just a little bit short on that right now, right? For one reason or another. Um, maybe it's there and I just like don't feel it or I just brush it off. Maybe it could just be one of those things, right? Maybe I don't think I've like gotten up to the right caliber, and so whenever people say like, "Wow, you're doing an awful lot," I'm like, "No, this is just the standard." But uh, at this point, we're kind of digressing even further off of like the initial topic that I said. But anyhow, it's all just kind of there. Time goes by fast. Channel's been around for a year and a half now. It's been 9 years since split. 25, huh? Mid 20s, confidently mid 20s now, and then give it a little bit more late 20s. Give it a little bit more 30s. And by then, what will I have done? I don't know. I hope that by then I feel a bit more at ease. But for now, there's nothing much to do but to keep my head down and keep going at it until I find something.